Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing another 10 cards and I'll be using the Doodlebug Down on the Farm paper pack. And I have the ephemera and the embellishments and some sticker sheets and all kinds of stuff to go with it. So I'm going to be trying to do a few of these 10 cards using some of my old paper packs. So you'll see those coming up here pretty soon. So to get started, I'm show you that I have the 6x6 paper pad. Um, Also going to show you like keeping all of my little embellishments in a tray off to the side. And I'm going to use another one of the paper smooches. This is designer draft number 1. And I'm going to be using this sketch sheet to do my 10 cards. So to start off with card number 1, I'm going to be doing kind of like, it looks kind of like a scene. So I'm just going to build up a scene on the front of this card. And I'm going to do landscape style. I cut out, using stitched rectangle die, some of the pretty little wildflower paper, and I used a Paper Smooches scallop die for the white panel, and then just grabbed some of my ephemera pieces. This little grass is from a Lawn Fawn die, and that little die set also came with some clouds that I'm also going to use later on another card. So I'm just going to attach down my panels. I'm not going to pop up any of the panels because I'm going to be popping up some of the elements on the card, the little girl and the sentiments. So I'm just going to glue down my fence because these guys are all going to be standing in front of the fence, so it doesn't need to be popped up. So the little girl's going to go right in the middle. I'm going to pop her up, and I should have put the grass down first, but I didn't, so I'm going to have to fix that here in a minute. But I'm just going to kind of carefully, if you're real careful about pulling up your adhesive, sometimes you don't destroy your paper. It doesn't work with glue though. Anytime I have to remove glue, it pretty much takes half the page away. But the pop dots are actually pretty forgiving, luckily. So I'm just going to fix that, put the grass down so she's not floating in midair. And then I'm just going to glue down my little puppy and little duck to either side of the girl. And I'm going to pop up the From All of Us, and I wanted Howdy, but it doesn't fit. So I'm going to change that out to a Hey There sentiment instead. And if you buy the little packs that go with these, that have all like the sentiments in them and the ephemera packs and all that, you get so many. You have tons of stuff to choose from. And I do have a ton of this still left over even after these 10 cards, but there's the Hey There. For finishing touches on all my cards, I'm going to be using glossy accents, and I'm going to, pretty much on every single card, I'm either going to be placing them on noses, on flowers, on shoes, hoofs, um, ducks. For the duck, it's his beak and his feet, and you'll see it throughout all 10 cards where I place the glossy accents. So for card number 2, I wanted to do a cow card, and I wanted to use some of the sticker sheets because I have like 3 half-used sticker sheets that came with this collection. So I just cut out a panel of the cow paper from a stitched rectangle die. I also use a stitched circle die. And these dies are all from Elizabeth Craft. Um, the yellow paper is from my collection, and I know that the paper is like a Tim Holtz paper. It's white on one side and colored on the other, like a whitewash. And if you use an embossing folder on it, you can, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the dog. You can sand it off and the color will come through, which I did do on one of my other cards, so I'll show you what I mean. But it's an older paper pack and I can't remember what the name of it is, so sorry about that. But the colors match very well. Like with this paper collection, the colors from that are like spot on. So I'm going to use that quite a bit. So I'm going to take one of the little cows from the sticker sheet, take off the sticky stuff on the back, and pop it up using some pop dots. And I get these pop dots, there's some thin versions of it, some thick versions, and then there's big and small, and I get them all from Simon Says. I usually will order like 10 packs at a time just so that I have a ton of it sitting around. And then these little enamel chicks are so stinking cute. I'm going to pop one up on the back of my little cow, and then on the little sheet there, the sketch, there's also something down there, and that's what I'm pointing to. And so I'm going to stick one down there as well. And my moo is going to get popped up on the top and the glossy accents on the cow. And this time I got a ton of air in her poor little, on her poor little nose. So she's got a bunch of little bubbles up there that I couldn't seem to get to go away. But still adorable. So here she is. Oh, and I'm going to put some little bit of grass under her feet. And there it is, all done. Super cute. Now for sketch number 3, I'm going to use a black panel in the back because the paper that I used was a little bit, it's got a lot of white in it and it was getting lost in on the card base. So the black panel behind it just kind of helps separate. And I'm going to use my little lamb. So I'm going to use a stitch square, stitch rectangle, and then just kind of place them one on top of the other, just kind of like the sketch shows. And you'll see throughout the 10 cards that sometimes I follow the sketches really close, and there's other times that I am so off that I might as well not even have the sketch. So, but it's actually a really good place to start. It gives you a lot of ideas, and then you just kind of go off on your own. So we're going to put the little grassy meadow up on the top. That heart is from one of the Spellbinders kits, and the Just For You sentiment at the bottom. And I'm going to pop up the heart using some fun foam. And then I'm also going to pop up the little lamb. Place her right in the middle of the heart. Finish her off with a little flower for her head. And for this one, I'm going to do the glossy accents on her hoofs and on the word you. And then that will be it. And this is that card finished. Super adorable. Here's a close-up. You can definitely see better with the close-ups. My studio is really dark, so that's why I add the photos behind each one so you can see what it looks like when I actually have it taking pictures at a place with good lighting. So for this card, I really wanted to use some of the cut-aparts. I have a ton of cut-aparts. I actually ended up only being able to use 2 of them because I'm only doing 10 cards and I didn't want to do all 10 cut-apart cards. But I like this little, the 2 that I used are my favorite. So we're going to use the little chicken on the fence, and we're going to use some paper. I love this. It reminds me of a picnic, like a picnic tablecloth. And then some green from my stash. I'm going to put a little cow print strip behind the green panel. And again, that's the Neat and Tangled scalloped die that I used for that. I'm going to put that right over the top. And then we're going to pop up the little chicken cut apart. This little bow also came in the Spellbinders kit. But you could actually just use, actual real ribbon and make a real bow if you don't have something like that. Cut off my little edges. And I will link the sketch sheet in the blog post if you want to know exactly which one I use. So if you want to do these the same way, you can find them pretty easily on my blog. And then it's super easy. That's why I keep using the Paper Smooches ones, because you just print one page and you've got all 10 right in front of you and you don't have to print out a whole bunch of different pages. I used a couple of the little chicks so that my sentiment makes sense. You're one of my favorite peeps. So I put a couple of peeps, a red enamel dot in the middle of my bow, and then some glossy accents. I think I just put them on the flowers, the beak, and the feet in this one. And that's the finished card. I think these cards came out so cute. So, since these cards came out so cute and I really love them, but I have a ton of cards sitting around here, I am going to start donating some of my cards to some charities. So if you guys have any suggestions for card charities, I would love to hear about them in the comments so I can check them out, because I have literally boxes of cards that I've been making, and I don't have enough people to send them out to. People need to have more birthdays in 1 year, and then I'll have, considerably less cards than I do. But anyway, so if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments for some card charities. But they kind of have to be ones that can take the kinds of cards that I make, because I noticed on some of them when I was checking them out, they can't always take, especially ones for kids. So I'm trying not to put as much like enamel dots and things on them that can come off so that they wouldn't be able to use them. But I need more than one charity to send to so that I can kind of split them up between the two ones where I can have extra things on the cards and ones where they have to be kind of plain. So yeah, give me a few ideas if you have them. Back to this card, piggy card, love it. So stinking cute. I put him in the little mud puddle, popped everything up. It's "You're so sweet," and I'm going to glossy accents the mud that she's sitting in. I also put a little flower on her head, and that is that one completed. These come together so quickly, but I mean, they're just so cute. So for this card number 6, I wanted to use some of the horses. I have a few horses left over, and then that is a die from a Hedgehog Hollow kit, and it cuts out this pocket. So I thought it would be really cute to do like a jean pocket with a handkerchief, red handkerchief, hanging out at the top as part of my background. So I'm just gonna kind of glue this together, and then I'm gonna stick it up out of the pocket. I need it to stay together so it'll look like that inside the pocket, and then I'm gonna glue it to the top. This one is definitely my favorite card. So I'm probably going to keep this one unless somebody really, really likes it and they really want it. Um, this one's going to stay in my stash. But on that note, if you guys have a favorite card and you leave me a comment in the bottom telling me what your favorite card is, I will pick a week from the date that this goes live. I will pick either 2 or 3. We'll see how many people are interested in my cards. I'll pick 2 or 3 people that I will give my cards away to, and so I will just send you the card. I won't write in or anything. So if you want to give it away, you could easily give it away, and maybe even stick a few of these extra pieces of ephemera and whatnot that I have laying around from this pack in there as a little extra, just to kind of you know share some of the love from my cards. And yeah, so just leave me a comment and let me know which one's your favorite. And like I said, in about a week after the video goes live, I will pick a couple, maybe 2 or 3. We'll see. Names. I don't imagine there'll be that many people that are pining away for my cards, so, but I would love to give them to somebody. So we're gonna put our pocket down first. It's hard to see, but the paper on the top is the chicken coop. It's like the chicken wire, and then the black and white on the bottom. I put up the horse in the truck in the back, kind of glued him in place. I'm going to pop the whole thing up on top of the pocket there, and the "just horsing around" is my sentiment. I'm also going to pop that up. And then for this one, I did put up quite a bit of glossy accents. So I did the horse's hoofs, I did the steering wheel, the tires, the headlight, and the tail light. I did all those with some glossy accents, and then the red enamel dots that I'm popping up around the truck here is just to kind of bring some of that red around some other spots on the card. And that will complete this one, which, like I said, is my favorite, and I kind of want to keep it and put it up on my wall because I have a whole wall of stuff that I just don't ever want to get rid of. And this is one of them. But if somebody really, really wants it and they really love it, I will give it away because I actually still have some more stuff. I'd make another one. Love that one. So for card number 7, I decided I wanted to do the cut apart again. So I'm going to turn this one from a landscape to a portrait. And I'm going to use the little animals all on top of each other. I used the leftovers from the handkerchief that I made in the last card for the base. And then I just took some black paper and made a banner. So I'm kind of following the sketch, sort of, not exactly, but close. We're going to pop up our little pile of animals in the middle. High is going to be the sentiment. This one's super quick, very fast card. Glossy accents on some beaks and some hoofs. couple of hearts down in the corner, and that's going to call it pretty good. So this one went together really fast. That's the thing about these cut up part sheets, is that they make card making pretty quick. And that's that one all done. I love that one too. For card number 8, I wanted to use the card print. I made card print, the cow print paper. So I am using a stitched oval for that center, and then the stitch rectangle for the cow print panel. And I couldn't decide which side of this I wanted, so it's whitewashed on one side and then it's that color on the other for the oval piece. So I'm going to show you both, and then let me know in the comments which one you think looks better. It's hard to tell with the lighting because there is kind of that tint of the color on the other side through the whitewash. But I ended up going with that one because I would have sat here flipping it over 100 times. But I still am not sure which one I liked better, if I like the whitewash side or the darker side. So let me know what you think. Either way, I think it came up really good. So for this one, I'm just going to pop up my sentiment at the bottom. And then we're just going to kind of place, we're going to pop up the cow. And then we're going to directly glue the milk can next to the cow. And that kind of makes my sentiment make sense. Thank you, dairy much. And then I wanted a little pop of color, and I think red with black and white is absolutely stunning. So I cut out a little red heart from a scrap of the red and white check paper, and I'm going to put that up top. And then some flowers down by her feet, or his feet, I don't know. Too cute, it's got to be a girl. Little blue flower, and that's going to call that card good. No glossy accents on this one, although I did think about it. Love that card too. So for card number 9, I skipped that and went right to the last one, which I also didn't follow. I really wanted to use this die, and that's the Lawn Fawn Peekaboo die without the peekaboo parts. And I cut the yellow wildflower paper, and that's the other side of the yellow wildflower paper. And at this point, I'm just kind of trying to use up as many of my ephemera pieces as I can. So I'm going to use the little chicken coop and seed packets, and I'm just going to kind of place them around in the different little squares on the front of the card. And I did want to use the "We'll always be friends," but I couldn't find a place to stick it on the card, so I'm just going to go with the I think it's "I'm your piggest fan" that I put next to the little piggy. I'm going to put my little lamb I'm popping up the piggy and the lamb, placing a little heart. And then we're going to use the little enamel chickens again, and put a chicken at the bottom next to the lamb and a baby chick next to the piggy. And then for the glossy accents on this one, I put them on the chicken coop and then on the hooves and the seed packets of the animals and the seed packets. There's the little chick. The little chick was an afterthought. And you'll see the glossy accents in the next shot. I think it came out really cute with it on the seed packets. And for card number 10, I still had a couple horses left, and I wanted to use the little horsey paper. So I made a panel of it looks like a meadow to me, like a green meadow. So I thought it would be a good background piece for my horses, and they're behind their fence. And then that's the horse paper. The back side is kind of like a wood, and then the other side has little horses on it. But I'm just gonna place that down, and I can't tell you the die for that circle. I didn't write it down, so I can't tell you what it is. But any one of them with like a scalloped edge would work for this design. I'm totally off the the sketch, although there is a circle with a little scalloped edge on it on the sketch, so I guess I'm still kind of there. So I'm going to trim that off. Then I'm just going to arrange my little horses. Oh, here's the die that I used for that fence, and that is a CC Designs, which I know they don't have them anymore, but there's so many fence dies out there you can pick. So that's basically the setup there. Going to pop up the hay there on the top. And then I wanted to use some more of the sticker sheet stuff, the stickers, but there's this little bale of hay and a pitchfork that I thought I was going to use, but then I scrapped all of that and just went with a little pink heart because they weren't the right scale. They were too tiny. You can see them off to the side, those little tiny things. So I just put some glossy accents on the pink heart, and that will be the end of the cards. So I'm going to run through them all again. To show you everything that I made today. And like I said, all of the close-up pictures and a list of the supplies will be on my blog along with the sketch sheet. So if you head over there, don't forget to leave me a comment to let me know which ones are your favorite. And like I said, I'll pick like 2 or 3 comments, people, if there's that many people that want them, and give them away in about a week. I'll send them to you along with maybe some of the extra little goodies I have left over. And I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you again real soon with, actually, my next video will be a design team project video. So again, thanks. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.